I just had to share this bizarre clip from the CBS morning program in the U.S. They were having a real normal one there when they had a discussion about colonizing the moon with Neil deGrasse Tyson. But the host, well, he had this to say.
Is that the moon? Because A,
I don't want to live on the moon.
Right. Will it serve as a functional life source eventually for human beings? And B, we know how the age of colonialism worked on this planet. Should we be trying to colonize and saying that there's a keep-out zone that not other countries can participate in having?
Well, the real problem with the colonization history in Western civilization is that there were people already there. Right? There are no moon beings that were displaced.
I mean, you've got to get pretty ridiculous to get schooled by Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I know that decolonization is all the rage these days, but seriously, I mean, if you think about that guy's logic, if this keeps up, one day our great-great-grandkids could one day be doing moon rock acknowledgments to the original aliens. You just can't make this stuff up. All right, immigration is still in the spotlight in the United States, and this week we learned that ICE agents in Washington state escaped an arson attack on their office. For more on this and a lot of other stories, I am joined by New York Post immigration reporter Jenny Taylor. Jenny, welcome to the program. Tell us about this exclusive report you had on this arson attack. What happened here? Was this targeted at ICE agents? Is this a new form of political violence that we're seeing in the United States?
Absolutely. Within the United States, over the last few months, when President Trump ushered in this mass deportation effort, it created a lot of backlash for ICE, and it brought out these anti-ICE activists who have been increasing their levels of assaults, including also the illegal immigrants they're arresting are assaulting them in some cases. That has driven up the number of assaults by 1,000%, according to the Department of Homeland Security. And so we're seeing instances like this one, where you have in Washington state, a small field office for DHS that is used by ICE agents, where ICE agents were in the building and someone tried to set fire to the area. They set a fire in the back successfully. There was billowing black smoke out there. Luckily, those agents were able to escape. That individual also, the accused arsonist, had thrown a rock into the window, which broke the window and also damaged a wall within the building. And so you see these dramatic images coming out of these, incidents that show that while ICE is doing its job, while it's trying to arrest illegal immigrants, while it's trying to carry out the president's mission, they're also facing tons of backlash. They're up against these assaults and still trying to do their jobs.
Well, tell me about this too, Jenny, because one of the things that I hear the left always complaining about is that the agents, they wear masks of some sort obscuring their face, and they say, this is like some sort of terrible secret police sort of thing where they're not identifiable and so on. But there's a really good reason for that, isn't it?
Absolutely. You have people showing up at these ICE raids who are posting on social media the faces of these ICE agents. And then you have individuals going out there and hunting down the identities of those individuals, hunting down their families. This is not like an innocent thing where you just want to know, who's arresting me so I can know when I go to court or whatever it is. No, this is part of a broader issue. This is part of those activist groups that are going out and trying to seek these agents, trying to dox them, essentially. There's been websites that have been found where agents' identities have been posted online, their pictures, their names, everything, so that people can go out and target them. That's not necessarily an innocent thing. This is, people's lives, livelihoods, their families who aren't signing up for that job, who are now roped into this effort.
Meanwhile, you've reported also on this other amazing case to me where there was an illegal migrant who broke free from custody with help of anti-ICE activists. Well, he was caught wearing, when he was recaught or recaptured, he was caught wearing a $1,700 Louis Vuitton T-shirt. Now, I don't know how you get a T-shirt that costs $1,700, but tell us more about this case. I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Right. Well, clearly he had a knack for fashion, but of course we saw this we saw this individual who tried to and successfully escaped from ICE custody. ICE is constantly moving people around the country. They're trying to keep certain areas, certain detention centers available for ICE agents making arrests while still holding people in detention. So they have to shift around people. And this has happened during multiple administrations. This is what was happening when this illegal immigrant from the UK had escaped from custody. He was being walked in with other detainees into a detention center in downtown Los Angeles. The contractors, I'm told, who were walking them in were at the front of the line, looked away, and by the time they did a head count inside the building, they noticed that they were down one person. That individual actually, according to surveillance footage and the investigation, was actually helped by anti-ICE activists in getting into a vehicle down the street and escaping for days. Luckily, they were able to hunt him down. Now, he was found in San Diego. So that is not in Los Angeles. He was able to not only get away for days, he got pretty far from where he started. And this just goes to show, again, when you have these activist groups going out and doxing agents, going out and trying to assault agents, you also have them trying to essentially aid and abet illegal immigrants. This guy, for example, had a rap sheet. So they're not just helping, someone who's here illegally without papers. They're helping someone who's a target for criminal prosecution.
Well, and that's the thing, Jenny. I mean, we've seen for the years of the Biden administration, all these sanctuary cities letting people who were criminals stay and not go to jail because, they were illegally in the country. But meanwhile, there's also this news that the Trump administration has scrapped the age cap on immigration and customs enforcement officers in a bid to boost recruitment. How many new hires are they hoping to get? And is this a sign that are they having trouble recruiting, or is it just that they've got such a big budget now and they've got such a big target to make that they need to get as many as 10,000 new agents out in the field?
Right. Well, like you mentioned, there's a lot of moving parts here. An influx of funding by millions of dollars. You have the surge and the need for 10,000 new ICE agents. And you have the ongoing mass deportation effort, which the Trump administration has set pretty lofty goals for. I mean, they've said at times that they want to be able to deport 1 million people every year. That's never really been done before. On top of that, they are trying to get these numbers up, and they're trying to do it quickly. So they're taking down some of the barriers to that. They're saying that, you can be a retired agent, like you said, you can be over the age of 60, which wasn't the case before. And some of these agents who are being reinstated can bypass some of the training, given that they have knowledge from the previous experience in law enforcement and in ICE. So they are reducing these barriers. They're also trying to keep up the pace of this mass deportation effort. But I'm shocked by the number of sources who I've talked to who are former ICE officials that say they've already filled out applications and they're ready to go.
Wow, that's amazing. And I guess if they're going to do 1 million a year, they're going to need all those people. Jenny Duthiers, thank you so much as always. Keep up the great reporting there in the New York Post.